Hello everyone and welcome to another video dito sa ating Ready to be Rich channel. For today, ang pag-uusapan natin ay tungkol sa investing. Specifically, I'm going to share with you what are the good investing strategies to have this 2023. Saan ba maganda mag-invest ngayong taon na to? However, before I start sharing my investing strategies for 2023, I'd like to remind everyone that personal finance is personal, which includes our investing decisions. Pagdating sa investing, we should let our financial goals dictate where we should invest. Depende talaga kung saan mo gagamitin yung pera, kailan mo gagamitin yung pera, doon malalaman kung saan ba talaga maganda ilagay or i-invest ang pera mo. But in any case, these tips will be general advice so that you have a good idea on what investing decisions or what investing choices you have for 2023. My first investing tip for 2023 is to focus more on low-risk liquidity. Anong ibig sabihin ng focus more on low-risk liquidity? Having cash or near-cash investments is actually the best strategy at this time. Marami pa kasing uncertainties in the market and I personally recommend having at least 2 years worth of your necessary expenses as cash or as near cash investments before looking into higher risk investments. Ano ibig sabihin ng cash or near cash investments? I would say putting your money in time deposits and money market funds. Kasi mga low-risk investments ito at madaling kunin yung pera just in case na kailangan mo. Particularly sa time deposit, may mga special time deposit products na ngayon yung mga bangko na you are allowed to actually withdraw or redeem your money before the end of the term. Of course, there will be some changes in the interest rates that you'll get. But in any case, the important thing is you can withdraw or redeem your money if you need it. So I would say look at your current portfolio and calculate magkano ba yung kailangan mo for the next 2 years, at least yung necessary expenses mo lang, and make sure that you have them as cash or near cash. But also, I'd like to say that this is different from your emergency fund kasi yung emergency fund pang emergencies, but you are securing your necessary expenses or yung cost of living mo for the next 2 years. Siguro this advice would change by the end of the year if the markets become more predictable or more stable and if there are better changes that happens in the global economy. For our second investing tip, I would say that you should look into long-term bonds, especially if you're after some steady cash flow. For 2023, I think it would be a good idea to look for long-term bonds. Mga bonds na may tenure or term na 5 years or more, 5, 6, 7 years. And dapat yung offering niya is at least 6% gross return. May mga nakita na nga ako mga 7, 8%. So those corporate bonds in particular will be a good investment for 2023. The reason for this is that because inflation is expected to go down for the next few months, at least for the next year or so. And once it reaches its ideal levels of around 3%, then you have an investment that can give good and stable returns and can actually beat inflation. So kung long-term yung bond mo, mababawi yung time na medyo mataas yung inflation, yung period na mataas yung inflation. And eventually, that will be able to preserve the value of your money. Yung long-term bonds for stable cash flow, it will be ideal for your medium-term investment or for your moderate risk investments in your portfolio. Paano naman sa stock market? I think there are good companies that you can choose for long-term investments at this point in time. Particularly yung mga companies that do well during recovery periods of the economy. So ano ba yung mga stocks or companies that favor economic recovery? Of course, we're coming out of the pandemic. The economy has opened up and nararamdaman na rin ng mga companies yung revenge spending ng mga consumers. And certain industries will have a favorable market during this time. Companies such as those in the energy and industrial sector will particularly do well during this time. So yung mga power companies like Meralco or Aboitiz Power and ASEN would be a good choice for long-term investments. Sa industrial, like yung mga utility companies, tsaka mga construction companies will also be a good choice. Speaking of construction, yung mga real estate companies o yung mga stocks in the property sector can also be a good choice as an investment in the stock market. And finally, yung mga financial industries will also do well during this time, particularly yung mga banks, kasi consumers will probably be applying for housing loans, auto loans, and mga businesses will be getting business loans in the next few years for expansion kasi nga we're coming out of the pandemic. It's time for your business to think about growth. So yung mga financial industries or yung mga bank companies, yung mga stocks nila will do well during economic recovery times. Of course, this is a stock market investment, so make sure that you are in it for the long term. If you are looking to trade the stock market, if you're a stock trader, then there are other companies that might be better to consider. Again, these tips are for those who are looking for long-term investments. Now, how about real estate? May mga nagtatanong sa akin kung maganda ba or is it a good time to invest in real estate during this time? And I would say yes. The real estate sector or the real estate industry remains to be a lucrative investment at this point in time. Real estate for capital gains and rental income remain as good long-term investments. So despite the increase in borrowing rates, property prices are expected to rise with a steady increase in demand, particularly in commercial properties. So kung nag-iisip kayo pumasok sa real estate investments, siguro maganda na i-check ninyo yung mga commercial spaces kasi ito yung pinipredict ng mga nakausap kong real estate analyst na magbo-boom. So mga office spaces, mga commercial spaces. Kasi marami ding mga nabakanteng lugar and because the economy is opening up, a lot of people are considering starting new businesses actually. Some of the businesses or companies that survived or was resilient during the pandemic are now considering expansion. Naghahanap sila ng mga bagong offices, mga bagong branches, and it would be a good opportunity for those who are looking into real estate. Lastly, as an entrepreneur, lagi kong i-advise na i-consider mong magnegosyo. Maybe 2023 is the year that you become an entrepreneur. Baka ngayong taon na mo dapat simulan yung negosyo na iniisip mo. If you can commit the time and effort and you have enough risk tolerance, I think it would be a good idea to place your bets on your own business this year. We are just coming out of the pandemic and that period in time has definitely changed our lives. Maraming nagbago sa pamumuhay natin and with that change comes new challenges, new problems na pwede mo sigurong isolve through your business. To give you a specific example, a lot of people have become aware of the importance of health and wellness during the pandemic. And coming out of it, I believe that people will remain to be conscious of their health. So, pwede nating i-explore ano ba yung mga business opportunities that are related to health. Meron akong kakilala na fitness instructor during the pandemic, nag-online workout session siya. And kahit na pwede nang pumunta yung mga tao sa gym, tinutuloy pa rin niya yung kanyang weekly workout sessions, yung virtual sessions niya. And he is actually thinking of formalizing that business. Talagang gagawa siya ng schedule of classes, hiring other fitness instructors to offer different or a variety of online exercise classes. So, think of a business that you can offer sa health and wellness. I think that's a very good niche to explore. But other than that, you can always look around you. Ano ba yung in demand sa mga paligid mo, in demand sa social network mo? What are the products and services that are underserved? And maybe that's a good business idea to explore. So those are my investing tips for 2023. Again, you can focus more on low-risk liquidity. You can look into long-term bonds for stable cash flow. You can buy stocks that favor economic recovery. You can look into real estate because it remains lucrative at this time. And of course, maybe you can start your own business this year and be an entrepreneur. I hope marami kayong natutunan at may mga nakuha kayong tips dito sa video natin. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe and see you again in our next video. Bye-bye!